We are live. This is the Elon Musk Bitcoin market update. Do you want to know what all this political stuff means for crypto? Do you find it strange that everyone is buying crypto, everyone is buying Bitcoin, everyone wants to buy Bitcoin, but Bitcoin doesn't go up? If you're wondering about these things, stay tuned because I will explain all of that. Including what this Elon Musk thing is really going to mean, and what the counter moves the orange man will make. Naturally, assuming it's not all fake. World Wrestling Federation, I don't think it's fake, and I think it's going to have huge implications for crypto. However, the short term may be a little bit uncertain, because Mr. Musk has introduced a level of uncertainty that you really can't fully explain. Like, how is this good for Tesla stock again? Like undermining the president after 100 days in office with like unhinged, wild Twitter stuff. So that might not be good for stocks because, Tesla can lead the stock market. And it's definitely not good for the bond market, constantly calling out all the problems with our debt. This guy has the ability with the Twitter platform to literally undermine confidence in the currency and in the bonds. Okay. So you could have 2 days of consternation. Who knows? All I know is crypto could go down. And if it doesn't, then the reality that all these guys are going to be sprinting to make the crypto bros happy. Elon's already started. And I think the orange man is up next. The crypto czar was saying July was going to be a big month. Gee, boys, it's, we're 1 week in. Now would be a good time. Now, literally would be a good time. Because I think they're going to need Bitcoin to back treasury bonds and the dollar at some point. Right? And Elon may start saying the quiet part out loud. Who knows? Now, I'm not a big fan of the third party, and I'll tell you why. And then we'll go back to crypto. Okay. Elon and all his buddies are now libertarians when the fact is, when the privacy-focused Project Antivirus wanted to bring John McAfee back with an AI agent, they shut it off on Twitter. Right? Why? It's a talking computer program. We're afraid of a talking computer program. And the guy that makes robots is afraid of talking John McAfee. Huh. Yeah. Okay. We're all libertarians now until he wants 10 trillion to go to Mars. Now, there's an epic point here for crypto, right? Is he looking out for you? Or is he looking out for him? Somebody gets elected from his party. Who's really in charge? Not the person who got elected. I can tell you that much. So I'm not buying this whole tech bro thing. I'm not. Is there a uniparty problem? Yes. Is there a deficit problem? Of course there is. The orange man had to make a deal to get money probably for the border, which is why all that sugar got handed out. And again, in the meantime, we are in a countdown to the sprint to the crypto bro vote part 2. Don't go anywhere. I got news and charts, and we're going to talk all about it. All right. So Elon says he will embrace Bitcoin. Fiat is hopeless. Gee, I think we knew that already. Okay. But if he starts buying, where he should start buying, right? This is the thing that bugs me a little. He could have just stayed home and bought Bitcoin for Tesla. Could have bought Dogecoin for his own account, right? He could have just said, hey, we're going to add to the Bitcoin treasury. Or we're going to start accepting Bitcoin for Teslas because I want hard currency on our books because I don't like what's happening. That actually would have been more impactful than this circus. Okay, in Bitcoin, volume is drying up. Like no one's trading. And there's a couple ways to read that, right? One, it's July. 2, it's coiling to break out. And 3, it's just a top. Some guy on Twitter said it to me, and I don't know. I thought it was kind of shocking. He's like, this thing with Elon would have been like massive good news, right? And not only is it not going up, but there's no trading volume. So here's what I think you need to know. What about like a flash dip and back? I have no idea what would create that. Okay. But I can tell you that if there is no weird flash dip, this has a chance of going materially higher, because what he's doing is he's undermining confidence in our debt. Okay, Michael Saylor, he's got the tear sheet for his new bonds that are new preferred stock. Again, everyone is buying Bitcoin. Sometimes in technical analysis, you wind the spring up in a range, and then when it goes, it goes. We're just not seeing the volume. The volume is all OTC, but I'm sort of beginning to wonder, how come it doesn't go up? Okay. So I don't know. This feels a little bit like a psyop to me, right? Oh, he forms the America Party. We're going to crack the uniparty system. Precision location on the battlefield. Dude. Orange Man, this is ridiculous. You know what? I got to be honest with you. The Orange Man needs to get his act together on crypto now, because him and his boys are already long. They got their bags packed. But in a small way, I feel sorry for the Orange Man on this, because like every time this guy does anything, someone's trying to put him in jail or undermine him or whatever. They gave him 100 days and he lost his mind. The budget thing is an annual process. It's not forever. How Elon could break the two-party stranglehold, says this guy. I won't even tell you what I think this guy. This guy had a business practice with somebody's widow. Unconscionable. The fact that he's into it automatically makes me not into it. And supposedly there's a rumor, the fact that the America Party filed with an election corporation, the FEC, is false. So do it, deny it. Have we lost our mind? This was the guy, Ross Perot, the third-party candidate back in 1992. Just kind of a businessman like Elon. He dropped out of the race and then came back into the race. A lot of people thought he could have won. I remember back in the day, he could have won. Right. He was compelling. One big, beautiful bubble. 50 trillion by 2032. And this brings us to a great point. Let's come off the screen share. This brings us to a great point. If it's going to 50 trillion or it's going to 175 trillion, 2 trillion now doesn't matter, right? It doesn't. And if you don't want a recession, okay, because again, Brandon was just handing out sugar everywhere. That was the economy. If you don't give the economy a transition period, even though the budget stuff is unconscionable, it's unconscionable, but understandable. Elon wants to throw out a party. He needs to throw out Congress, because you can't get anything done unless you pay everybody. Now, why am I telling you this? This is the core argument behind crypto. This is the core argument behind privacy coins. This is the core argument for you're paying taxes and they take your taxes and it's like they throw it into a furnace. Like taking cash from you and throwing it into a furnace again. Right? You have to be here. Okay, your bags are down and they're going to wear you down, and they may continue to wear you down. But the guys, everyone's always talking about, oh my God, this guy bought Bitcoin at $100 and now he's a billionaire. There are areas of crypto where that could distinctly happen, particularly when it comes to AI and other things, that all these grumpy old men out there. I don't have the Jim Rickards headline. Okay. One guy is like, This is like artificial intelligence is never happening. We'll find it later. Okay, Elon, again, with the U.S. debt chart. We've seen it. Our national debt is a disaster. This guy's like an Elon parroting account. Seriously, the America Party is needed. Is it? Or do we need Bitcoin and privacy? Right? Like, do you think that the foreign lobbyists and influencers think they're going to not have influence over the America Party? And this also feels like a total distraction, right? The list, we'll release it. We need more time. There's no list. This with the Elon thing at the same time, it's just weird. It's creepy. The clown thing is appropriate. It's creepy. And frankly, it makes me want to buy crypto. Like if they dip crypto in the next 3 days, I'm like, oh, please do. Please do it. France's fiscal reckoning. I don't know if you know this, but like Europe is overrun by people coming over from the Middle East, and they're all on welfare. They're all being subsidized by the government. The government borrows money and hands it out. That's their national policy. But at some point, the more attention that gets drawn to this, there's a saying in equities, it doesn't matter until it does. This type of thing, like say there was a dip. This thing could be like a V dip, right? It just, or, there may be no dip. They're putting you to sleep. Okay. Meanwhile, back in equities, retail buying blow away all records, right? Cumulative net retail purchases. Okay. Like retail has already bought, if I understand this graph correctly, has already bought like more stocks in 2025 than they did in all these other years. Because they got it all 25% off, 30% off, and they jumped in. Meanwhile, crypto sits there. And as Elon said, fiat is hopeless. Okay, here's the super intelligence thing. So here's more grumpy old men stuff in Legacy. This is Jim Rickards, the Currency Wars book. Fiat was going to zero. Gold was going to, $10,000 or more. That still may happen, but all the things that these guys predicted really did not happen. The dollar did not collapse. Bitcoin moved. So they're pivoting, and now they're saying, AI will never happen. Super intelligence. All right, so let's break this down because this goes back to the crypto bros and what they're selling everybody. AI right now is not profitable, not at all, right? It's absolutely not profitable. And they're selling you on this huge future so they can go out and spend indiscriminate amounts of money. Now, why does that matter? Because they want to control you. They absolutely want to control you, right? The political fighting, right? They just divide us so they can conquer us. RFKJ, right? RFKJ had this message. We got to stop fighting with each other. We go from 2 people fighting each other to 3 parties fighting each other. It's like buy Bitcoin. Just buy Bitcoin. Just do it. Right? Just jump into crypto. Now, I know everyone listening to this is probably already into crypto, but like, I don't know, if you think about stuff like Solana, you think about stuff like Avalanche, you think about stuff like Near, think about all these things that AI is eventually going to use. Why are we not doing it? Why are we afraid? We shouldn't be afraid. Okay, so job creation is at 0. Okay. The silver lining is supposedly hundreds of thousands of jobs will be opening up as people depart. What kind of jobs those are, I don't know. But I know the tech bro party wants the people from overseas. They just want them legally. And they're going to get them. They got them now. Grok estimates federal deficit $2.4 trillion. So we'll be adding $5 trillion to the national debt over 2 years. $5 trillion. Okay. Uncle Sugar's got to buy he's got to sell $5 trillion in bonds over the next 2 years. How in God's name is that going to happen without either printing, massive printing, them allowing a crash, or backing the bonds with Bitcoin? Buy a bond, get a little Bitcoin. You know, like Cracker Jacks, you get a Cracker Jacks. And you probably don't know what I'm talking about. It's a little like sweet popcorn, tear off the top, eat some popcorn, and out comes a toy, a surprise. It was a 70s thing. We need Cracker Jack bonds, right? Buy a bond, get some Bitcoin. They were serious about getting better Republicans. They would have worked towards that already. Nearly a decade into Trump's, rule over the Republicans, there's now no practical difference. The establishment won. Okay, well, that's a very interesting conclusion 100 days in office. And we did, make foreign lobbyists happy. And it does look like they sold us all out. That's what it looks like. Okay. We're going off 100 days of optics. 100 days. We freak out, swipe left on the current administration, and to go do something else. Like, don't you think it's a little scary that somebody thinks that they're just going to buy what they want? Buy what they want and do what? Send a robot to your house to tell you what to do? Okay, so Elon is no longer following the Speaker of the House or the head of the Parliament, and Michael Saylor just continues to buy. He, like the rest of us, is probably wondering why the price is not going up. Who is selling? Okay, they're going to have a crypto tax framework so we can start buying stuff with Bitcoin like it's money, which is tremendous, to be honest. Trust in government, knowledge of history. I won't go into my government is not nice story. Okay, now, one thing I want you to notice, particularly when it comes to why crypto. Why crypto? Do you notice that the guy who does all the talking on the Sunday talk shows is the Treasury Secretary? Now, of course, he looks good in his suit. He's well-spoken. Okay. So he's a natural. And he's pretty smart too. But why is the Treasury Secretary doing all the talking? Like normally it's like the Vice President, the Secretary of State. You're in a very political environment. Like we're always hearing from the guy that runs the Treasury. They got a little emergency going on over there. Maybe need to get stable coins running so they can print or create money, I should say. What's the problem out there, boys? You sitting on something? Now, he's got to come out and say, Elon is not popular. And by the way, while I'm on the subject, Elon better get worried about what happens if this blows up in his face and he gets fired from Tesla, because he can get fired from Tesla. Meanwhile, just in case you think it can't get any nuttier now or 5 years from now, the American left is staging a nationwide sick day where they pledge to stop working, spending, and producing. Sounds good. Let your cities collapse even faster. Didn't we do this? Didn't we do this a couple of 5 years ago? We said everyone stay home, don't work. Didn't we do that? How'd that work out? This is somebody's idea of a good idea. Somebody's idea of a good idea. And I'm going to tell you something else. It's not very YouTube-ish. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you what I felt today. Okay? With this. I walked around and I was like, you know what? I don't know if I'm having a good day today. And then I decided, you know what? I am having a good day today. I'm having a very good day. This place where this flood occurred is probably about 30 minutes from where I live. Because what happens is if you go west of where I am, it turns into like desert. So Austin's a city, but then you drive west and it's just like dirt. I mean, this thing that happened, hundreds of people literally disappeared. It hit them at 3 a.m. They just disappeared, just washed away. And you got to ask yourself, have you called your brother lately? When's the last time you talked to your mom? Have you taken your wife out to lunch? Have you asked your partner what book they're reading? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know we're all crypto bros and we're all here to get paid and we're all here to make money, but people, first of all, I'm okay. But when people start disappearing like that, you really have to start asking yourself what's important. End of lecture. At this point, if the board fired Musk, the stock and the company would benefit. Word. What's going on? Like 1 minute, he's done with politics. Tesla stock goes back up, and then we're putting on a show. And again, I think you have to look at all of this skeptically. Now, let's look at the market. So, Bitcoin should have gone up, and it didn't. Now, the good news is there's a ton of support between 108 and 105 on Bitcoin, right? ETH's got the 200-day moving average at 2480, but this is like watching paint dry. And I can't stop loving Solana, even though it can't get through the 200-day moving average. Like the more research I do about the future and AI and stable coins, and I don't know, man. As soon as they get the Solana into the ETF, how is this not going up? Seriously. Now, in the meantime, like I said, you can get all giddy, but it can't get through resistance, right? It doesn't have, it's the same thing with the volume in Bitcoin. It doesn't have the push. And if it doesn't have the push, then maybe you could wait to get involved, right? Like, how could Bitcoin be this soft? And I actually think the answer is really simple. He's threatening the equity market, right? Stocks are all fat, dumb, and happy. And then Tesla's going to come in and he's going to blow up the stock. I'm like, dude, that could scare the crypto market for a couple days. I mean, it's kind of it's a legacy thing, right? Like when you know that the current administration is going to spend $2 trillion a year, more than it takes in, that's a known fact. Is it a good fact? No, but it's a known fact. Right? Now, when Elon comes in, you don't know what he's going to say. You don't know how the bond market's going to take it. You don't know how the stock market's going to take it. Then you have to start asking yourself, what happens if this guy wins? What happens if his party wins in 2026? What happens if he opens the door for the left? Because I think the three-way race in New York City is going to show that. And the fact that the left is quite popular. Quite popular. So the world just got a little bit more uncertain. That's exactly what we needed, right? We just got done with the geopolitical crisis. And now we're going to start questioning everything. Good. Let them question everything. What are you going to do? Unless it's a terrible meme coin trade, you're going to hold on to what you got. You're going to revisit why you bought it when it goes down, if it goes down. When it goes down, red days, those are shopping days. You want to kind of remember that, because this market is annoying in the sense that it can't put 2 days in a row together, right? Like, Bitcoin goes up to resistance at 110 and they run away from it. Solana is the same thing, right? Solana has this DeMark point at 153. This is where the whole give up trade started from. It's like, okay, we're going to break out. Someone's sitting on it up there, or there's just not enough buying momentum or interest for people to pay higher prices. Everyone wants to buy it when it's getting killed. The question is, for a bull market, are people willing to pay higher prices right this second? No. That's okay, though. That's okay, because you may have a dip and then up. Because at the end of the day, when you have tech bros thinking that they can buy what they want, you're undermining the integrity of the currency and the bond market. And this is what Bitcoin was invented for. This is what all of crypto was invented for. Like, everyone thinks it's like Bitcoin and altcoins and one's better than the other. No, it's not. No, like, go home, figure out what Near and Algorand do. What do they do? Do like an internet research thing. Like, what would those coins do in a machine world? Right? Okay, folks, appreciate you staying with us today. I'm a little under the weather. That is the market update. We will see you tomorrow.